Now, the Eurobarometer surveys are one of the key instruments that the European Commission or the European authorities have to test or to capture the views of European citizens. It is a service that I regularly run since 1973, but in the last 20 years or so, they have added special Eurobarometers on the relationship between science and society, and with a special attention to ethically sensitive issues. We have data, we have done research on the relationship between life sciences and genetics and society in general. But as regards the genetic testing and the use of genetic information in particular, then there are a wide variety of views across Europe. In some places there are great hopes and expectations towards genetic testing. In some parts of Europe there is more skepticism, and this is particularly true in Northern Europe. And that does not mean that the Northern European public is more anti-science. On the contrary, they might simply be better informed and be making up their minds on the basis of different kinds of knowledge. In the country where we have the highest support or the highest expectations towards genetic testing is Turkey, and followed by some of the countries of Eastern Europe, Romania, Bulgaria, Lithuania. But the important aspect to notice is the difference in views across Europe. For the first one I want to mention is the historical one. Some of the countries that are most cautious about the use of genetic information are also countries that have a history of what today we see as political misuse of genetic information of minorities, for example. Still remaining on the kind of historical or more societal level, we also see greater support in countries, greater support for genetic testing in countries where there is a greater tendency to believe in superstition and miracles and in general magical thinking. Now, on a more individual level, the first question to ask is that what do people think? What are people answering? What is the kind of knowledge? What do they think that the genetic tests are, what they are for, and so on. Greater knowledge, being better informed about genetic testing does not necessarily mean greater acceptance, or does not necessarily mean greater rejection of the use of genetic testing. It means that simply that people are making more informed opinions about in this case genetic testing, if they should be allowed, if they would use it, and so on. The media has an enormous role in shaping the general landscape of public views, and in recent years we've all been overexposed to media representations of genetics as being almost infallible. In many cases, when you go and ask people what they associate with genetics, television series such as CIS or NCIS come to mind. So these kind of mass media representations of genetics are very powerful in shaping public views. Now, as regards genetic testing, there surely should be more media coverage, there should be more discussion. And the media has a role in informing the public, not necessarily taking on an educational role, but making sure that the relevant scientific sound information gets across.